been listening to some very distracting and very interesting podcasts. I'm not going to talk about it right now. I'm here to say that this run has been very therapeutic for me today, because yesterday's effort at Bronte was like a struggle, or an effort I should say, that I always hear about runners talk about, the day that didn't go well, the run that didn't go, the run that just wasn't, or whatever. And I hate to ever acknowledge that happens to me, but it does, and it happened yesterday. And it might have been the heat. Wasn't hydrating enough, as if I don't always carry freaking liters of hydration on me. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. It takes being conscientious and having the intent. And as interesting as these podcasts are, and they do help make the time go by almost unnoticeably, the effort too, I think I just forget some fundamentals. And even here just now, stopping to, I'm going to take a little video, take some pictures, and I acknowledge that humidity has rolled in after a couple of pretty warm, low humidity, sunny days, and there are mosquitoes. God knows, probably black flies, but definitely mosquitoes. So I gotta keep moving. I can't stop to take pictures, but I am going to finish this top loop, which I've done the entire thing already once, and I wanted to do it twice today, and I really have no idea how many kilometers I'm doing today. I don't know how many I've done. I don't know how many I'm doing. The only reason I look at my watch from time to time is to see the display of my heart rate, to get an idea of my perceived effort, and that's it. So, having said that, another little mishap and misjudgment was on the Beaver Dam Trail, although it's not serious. I did roll on some rocks, and took the brunt of that with the pad of my hand here. Is quite sore inside, but hopefully that's just a deep bruise and didn't damage any bones or anything. Anyway, that's it. Happy to have this big outing. Gave myself about 4 hours today, and just having a lot of fun. And it's not an effort. It's nothing like yesterday. I've hardly seen anybody here in the conservation area and in the trails. And the single track that I'm on right now is part of Hilton Region Trail Network, not necessarily Hilton Conservation, but I will be back in the conservation in just a few minutes when I run down this little trail. So now that I've caught my breath and brought my heart rate down to low 120s, I'm going to finish out this run day. I probably will be back at the parking lot, I'm going to guess, in half an hour. Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling in. Hey. I pulled over because I wasn't running, but that first cyclist was supposed to say there's two behind me. That's okay. Let's see if I can catch up to them. some pretty technical sections ahead that they're gonna have to slow down for. But not me. Of course, a section like this is one that I would think that I would fall on, but this is not this track that I fell on. In fact, it wasn't even single track. Generally what happens is when the path is fairly smooth, I get into that road running repetition where, you know, not really lifting the shoes off of the surface very high, just try to be efficient, almost like scuffling along. and that just takes the littlest thing to catch your toe. But this kind of trail wakes up your feet and your knees and your legs, because you can't run like that. You gotta be going off the rocks and springing off your toes and giving ample clearance at all times. So I'm going to chalk that up to pure laziness, maybe a little bit of distracting podcast, you know. I think from here down for the next, whatever it is, 5K back to the car, I don't think I'm going to listen to anything anymore. I mean, as you can see, I know I only wear one earbud anyway, and I keep the volume quite low because I like to hear the ambience, the environment. I like to hear nature, and of course I like to hear if there's any cyclists or other human, you know, humans on the trail. As we get into the evening, I keep forgetting now that that whole spring training session with like clear air, well, pollen, that was about the worst of it, I guess. Having a couple of weeks of really bad allergies. Is that, yeah, this is grown in. It's thick. It's lush. And as long as there's the odd rainfall, you know, then there's good humidity in the forest, and therefore there will always be mosquitoes. So, does that mean put on bug repellent? I don't know about that. I don't know. You know, I know from my experience camping on hot summers, putting bug repellent on tends to make me feel like my skin is suffocating even more. And, you know, work up a sweat, feel the heat even more. And I just don't think it's that good for you. So, this running thing is ideal because they can't land on you, they can't catch you, and therefore they can't bite you. I've never been a favorite for mosquitoes anyway, or black flies. Not like some people. Sometimes when we talk about it, I wonder if it's blood type or what it is, but let's go this way. Guess I'm not going to catch those guys after all, unless they took that side trail, which they may have done. Let's roll the ankles here. Twisties. Okay. I'm going to be coming back to the Beaver Dam Trail momentarily after this rocky section. And I'm going to put the phone away. I can cruise in. Calling for actually cooler temperatures tomorrow and rain. And gosh, that would have been ideal to be here to do that too. In fact, I just might I've had like some big mileage weeks. I want to say mostly intentionally, not like back at the end of April there, the 100K challenge. Not really sure I knew what I was doing at all, but I may have hit over 100 kilometers one week. I don't know if I did on two occasions, but one for sure. And May was more like just an intentional grind to keep the volume up. And now June, I have to target a date for like a goal run. Yeah. So yeah, it was like somewhere down that trail, somewhere down the Beaver Dam Trail there that I tripped on very unexciting terrain. It was, the fall was probably spectacular because of the way I took the fall. But yeah, I should have taken a picture of the ground I was on, because when I looked down, it's like, come on, these are like smooth, rounded rocks, little things. Anyway, here's the trail running. Here's to nature, and here's to running far. There's just nothing quite like it, and I don't ever want to stop. What can I say? Especially when you see this, you know, these massive old, like, how old would that maple be? 150 years old? Like, come on. Oh, seriously. Why does my watch keep beeping? Oh, yeah, see, that's how you fall. Get distracted. It beeps to tell me that my heart rate is back down to a reasonable rate, and that it's time to run. The other time it beeps is every 15 minutes to remind me to nibble and hydrate, or one or the other, but to keep it regular, because getting in that trance, sometimes you forget. And I think that's what happened yesterday. And, you know, it's like they say, when you're dehydrated, or when you start feeling dehydrated and in a long run, like, there is no coming back. You don't rehydrate on the go. So, you know, the goal is to not get dehydrated. Which I'm sure by the end of lots of runs, lots of us know what that feels like, to have heat exhaustion and some dehydration. But yeah, anyway, blah blah blah. Now I could just talk all day. Okay. Whoever you are, I hope you enjoyed this little trail vlog. I think I'm coming up to the stream with the bridge. Put the phone away and run back to the car. Probably overstaying my reservation time by a few minutes. For those of you who don't know, here in Ontario, we're still under lots of COVID restrictions, and of course, that's a big one too. Holy, wow. And one of those is that with these conservation areas, you have to reserve your time in advance online in 2-hour blocks. You can't just show up unannounced. So there have been plenty of occasions where I've reserved like 2 or 3 2-hour blocks so I could spend an afternoon here, not feel rushed. This Wally and the Beeve. Oh yeah, Wally and the Beeve. And then I don't remember Bogged Up, if that's up here too, or if it's already gone past. Can you tell this is slightly downhill? Oh, a rush. That's good. That's good. That's good. That was good. I love this. I've tried running over this several times. I haven't found a preferred